Megatron is one of the most underrated villains in fiction. He's popular, sure, but he gets overlooked by other popular villains in media like Darth Vader, Joker, Thanos, and many more. But when people do talk about him, they only see the surface level aspects of his character, and they just see him as the tyrannical leader of the Decepticons, hellbent on defeating the Autobots and ruling Earth or Cybertron. But there's so much more to his character than just being a power-hungry leader. In nearly every movie, TV show, video game, or comic that has Optimus Prime and Megatron, they started out as best friends or brothers. They had a bond that was so deep they'd die for the other, but over time, Megatron saw the flaws of Cybertron and wanted to better his people, so he took matters into his own hands. At first, his methods were on the right track, but over time they gradually became darker and more cynical. Megatron's outlook changed into him wanting to change Cybertron himself, and he saw no other way to do that than to conquer the planet. And Optimus started out as Orion Pax and saw his best friend start to lose himself. And while Megatron saw himself as the chosen savior of Cybertron, Orion was the one who was chosen by the Matrix of Leadership. Becoming a Prime and truly becoming Optimus, each formed their own factions and led a desperate battle against the other. This is the root of their rivalry, but more so Megatron's, and I think the two best examples that show this is Transformers 1 and Transformers Prime. In 1, we see Megatron as D16 and Orion Pax's best friend. They're both minor bots and are on the low totem pole of their society. D16 practically worships the ground Sentinel Prime walks on and wants to be like Megatron as Prime, but when Sentinel is revealed as a villain, this breaks D16 as Sentinel took everything from him. Even the ability to transform, which is pretty much in their fucking name. So he wants revenge, and once he kills Sentinel, his rage gets the best of him, and even kills Orion, who becomes Optimus later. And this is where D16 dies and becomes Megatron, and after his defeat, takes the High Guard and forms the Decepticons. And in Prime, Megatron was Megatronus, a gladiator in the pits of Chaos, who took the Prime's name until he later shortened it, and rose through the ranks through brutal combat, trying to change the ways of Cybertron so the lower class citizens like him that were in the pits didn't have to suffer. He even takes Orion under his wing. But when he speaks to the Council, Megatron shows his cynicism and lust for power, and grows jealous when the Council chooses Orion as the better. With Orion becoming Optimus, Megatronus becoming Megatron, and each forming their own factions, and the war raging on. Similar backstories, but in both iterations, Megatron starts at the very bottom and rises through societal hurdles all to change his people's ways of life, but in both instances he's blinded by power, rage, and the need to see himself at the top. And his entire ideology is peace through tyranny. All in all though, Megatron is just a goated villain when you look at all this.